One of Niagara Falls' major downtown attractions, its Culinary Institute, is at the center of controversy. And now the president of Niagara County Community College is under investigation by the FBI.
7 Eyewitness News investigative reporter Charlie Specht has been pouring through all kinds of emails for months now, raising questions about million-dollar contracts.
It was supposed to be a tasty new recipe for Niagara Falls.
The most valuable property in Niagara Falls and perhaps even Western New York.
NCCC President James Klychek said the site of his new culinary school could only be described as
priceless.
But a 7 Eyewitness News investigation shows the Niagara Falls Culinary Institute may have been cooked with enough bad ingredients to make taxpayers lose their appetites. Documents obtained exclusively by 7 Eyewitness News show that top officials at NCCC targeted specific companies so that major public projects would go to businesses with ties to school officials. The findings are so shocking, as one board member put it, that the fallout started even before our investigation hit the air. The $30 million project was built primarily with taxpayer money, and college records show that board members gave President James Klychek the authority to negotiate the deals. That included a $1 million contract that went to LP Simonelli to manage the much-anticipated construction project. Former LP Simonelli Vice President Kevin Schuler, currently under indictment for the Buffalo Billions scandal, was an active member of the NCCC board at the time the culinary deal went to his company. Here he is at the project's ribbon cutting in 2012. He had reason to smile because LP Simonelli beat out 8 other firms for the job, even though bidding documents show the firm submitted the highest of 8 bids. Company lawyers stress that professional service contracts do allow public agencies to factor other elements besides cost, and documents do show that LP Simonelli also received the highest rated technical score among the 8 bidders. But President Klychek emailed one of his VPs about that construction deal, telling him to, quote, check with Kevin, privately, not in front of any trustee. Another pile of taxpayer money went to Canon Design for architectural services. Klychek's emails, obtained by 7 Eyewitness News, show he wanted to give the company a lucrative deal, worth more than $1 million, without public bidding. Sole source, Klychek said, because I want Canon on the team. But his own Vice President, Bill Schickling, said that there was, quote, weak justification for the move because it was a, quote, proactive measure by the college to preclude competition. College procedures require that any public works contract worth more than $20,000 must be put out to a formal RFP process with at least 3 vendors. The architecture contract in question was worth more than $1 million. Does he understand and agree? Klychek asked Vice President Randy Bowen about Schickling. Not really, said Bowen. However, he understands our point of view. He would prefer us to at least do the charade of an RFP process and then select Canon. And that's exactly what happened, to the tune of $1.1 million. Like LP Simonelli, Canon has some key connections to the school. Mike Mistreiner was one of Canon's top architects for the culinary project. His brother is Mark Mistreiner, an NCCC food professor who helps run the Culinary Institute. Now you may be wondering whether NCCC was getting legal advice on all this. Well, the college did hire lawyers to advise it on the project, including one who was a member of the Web of Political Influence at NCCC. NCCC bid out legal work for the culinary school in 2010, but Klychek's emails show that he wasn't happy with the 3 firms who responded. Where the hell is Harris Beach? Klychek emailed his VPs. One of Harris Beach's partners was Henry Wojtasek, former GOP chairman of Niagara County, who later became vice chairman of the NCCC board. Like Schuler, his name is prominently displayed for visitors to see when they enter the Culinary Institute. But Wojtasek's firm never sent a response to the RFP, so Klychek directed Schickling to, quote, extend it or start over. Schickling said, that would clearly be rigging of the procurement process. Schickling suggested they award the bid to one of the 3 original law firms. But Klychek said that is not an option. We are to reconfigure as needed and reissue. The RFP was extended anyway, and even though Harris Beach never put in a bid, documents show that some of its lawyers did perform legal work for NCCC on that project. State taxpayers pay Klychek's salary of $185,000 per year, plus a take-home car. He wouldn't sit for an interview, but we caught up with him at a special meeting. Wondering if you want to say anything about, all this? Do you have anything to say?
No, I have no comment.
Taxpayers or anything?
I have no comment.
Anything you want to say to reassure people that, things were done the right way here?
Charlie, I don't know what to tell you.
We're good, Charlie.
Because if she's got her mother's genes, she's dumber than a doorknob.
The language is strong, insulting, no matter whose mouth it comes from, let alone a college president regarding a victim of sexual assault. Good evening. The voice you just heard is of NCCC President James Kleizak.
He has come under fire in connection with an alleged bid rigging scandal at the college, and now it seems he has new questions to answer about shocking recordings that show him and other college officials blaming a sexual assault victim.
7 Eyewitness News investigator Charlie Specht exclusively uncovered these recordings. He takes us through them tonight.
Sexual assault is a crime of opportunity, and there's somebody who was waiting for the right opportunity to take advantage of someone.
Police say that opportunity came last July when DeJuan Hunt showed up at NCCC. Hunt, according to police and school officials, harassed 3 women on campus before he cornered another and tried to sexually assault her on July 19th. At the time, school officials were criticized for failing to notify students about those July 19th attacks. That's because 2 weeks later, police say Hunt returned to campus on August 3rd and allegedly struck again. Hunt died in jail before he could be tried for the crimes, but secret audio tapes obtained by 7 Eyewitness News show that President James Kleizak and his top administrators not only failed to notify students about the attacks, but they also blamed the victims and may have violated official state policy. The president says of the July 19th victim, who says she was assaulted near the campus library.
What, you stupid? I mean, no, seriously, this just aggravates me. Make us the guilty party because you're too stupid to follow your instinct that this guy sits down next to you and there's nobody else around. You agree to take him on a tour. That is as dumb as can be.
The middle-aged victim said she wanted her daughter to attend NCCC when she got older, but after the sexual attack, she no longer felt the school was safe. In the tapes, which were provided to 7 Eyewitness News from a source close to Kleizak, the president says,
Her daughter should be worried because if she's got her mother's genes, she's dumber than a doorknob.
Mary Brennan Taylor counsels rape victims for the YWCA, and while she wouldn't talk about this specific case, she couldn't help but wince when she heard the comments.
That's victim blaming, and that's not only unfair, that's unethical, and that's ignorant on the part of the individual who has those questions. A sexual assault is never, ever, ever the victim's fault.
Kleizak declined our interview request, and he hasn't talked to us since we first uncovered a bid rigging scandal at the college 3 months ago.
No, I have no comment.
Brennan Taylor said during the first 6 weeks of the school year, colleges need to take extra steps to protect vulnerable students, like the freshman who says she was walking through this building in August when she was ambushed by Hunt.
You guys work here? Because that dude running that way just tried raping me in there.
The victim said Hunt dragged her into a dark hallway and tried to assault her before she escaped. She and her mother told her story to 7 Eyewitness News after the August 3rd attack because they were furious that after the first attempted assault 2 weeks earlier, college officials sent no emails to students warning them about Hunt, sent no text messages from their emergency alert system, and put no pictures of Hunt on campus TVs.
It not only failed my child and the community, it failed the individuals who were attacked on the 19th. If a warning would have went out after the first one, then it should have been known that the second one possibly would not have happened, or the third, or the fourth. I'm disgusted with what they've done, or should I say, lack of what they've done.
College officials say they did nothing wrong because victim number 1 did not want to pursue criminal charges before Hunt was arrested August 3rd. But the internal audio tapes show Kleizak grilling his staff members over their response.
So I guess what will sound funky to a parent is, so this guy goes and harasses 3 or 4 people on the same day and you don't do anything? Do we do anything on television monitors to say there's this guy walking around the campus and has harassed 4 people already?
Francis Giles, the security director at NCCC, tells Kleizak they were not technically required to report the 4 incidents on July 19th under the Federal Clery Act, even though the law clearly states, quote, an institution must report to the campus community on crimes that are considered by the institution to represent a threat to students and employees. Kleizak says,
Be a father for a minute. So your daughter's here and some guy goes around and hits up 4 women, and what did we do? We sent him a letter?
Giles says his security guards kicked Hunt off the campus after the first attempt. Later in the tapes, Giles calls one of the victims
someone who is trying to self-gloss and embellish their own side for a lawsuit.
He goes on to question why the victim was walking, not running, when she escaped her attacker, and says,
I think this girl sees a meal ticket now. She's taking this and running with it.
Through a spokeswoman, Giles also declined an interview, but we went to campus to get some answers.
We're here to see Fran Giles. He said some pretty bad things about some of the victims. We have him on tape, so we just want to give him a chance to explain himself.
Giles never got back to us. NCCC Vice Presidents Julia Pittman and Mike Dombrowski both urged Giles not to blame the victim, but at different points in the audio tape, they also questioned the victim's actions, and Dombrowski says,
You know, I think she's fishing a little bit. Just doesn't pass the smell test to me.
Brennan Taylor, again, can't believe what she is hearing.
Honestly, does somebody, no. People are not going to report sexual assault, for any of those reasons. A sexual assault has occurred, and to have the courage to come forward and say that one of the most horrific things that you can imagine has happened to them, that takes a very brave individual.
NCCC finally sent us a statement which reads in part, the safety and security of our students and employees are a top priority at NCCC.
That's alarming. That really is. That's almost giving the men here the opportunity to think that that's okay.
It's really horrendous that the college doesn't take full responsibility for their actions.
I wouldn't come anywhere near this school. I wouldn't.
A 7 Eyewitness News investigation getting action and a strong response from the governor tonight.
His office now calling for a full investigation, vowing to hold all wrongdoers fully accountable.
That's right. The longest serving president in the history of Niagara County Community College has resigned.
His resignation comes just days after 7 Eyewitness News obtained secret recordings of him blaming victims of their own sexual assault.
Yippee! Because this has been 16 years of tyranny.
We caught up with Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul and asked what she thinks should happen to these 3 administrators who were involved in this scandal at the state-funded school.
Those actions warrant some sort of consequences for the college and for the people still in place there who had involvement in this whole thing?
We will let that investigation take its full course. It's too early for me to comment on the results of an investigation, but in general, zero tolerance from anyone, whether it's student on student, whether it's adult on student, whatever it is, particularly from people in positions of power, there is zero tolerance.
An I-Team investigation now getting the attention of the governor.
It surrounds the handling of college sexual assaults. Now, all this coming to light thanks to our Charlie Specht's digging, focused on 2 assaults at Niagara County Community College. Charlie here is tonight with the very latest. Hello, Charlie.
Well, it's been 3 weeks here since the president of NCCC resigned after our investigation revealed that he and others in his administration blamed 2 victims of sexual assault on campus last summer. Now, our reporting here led Governor Andrew Cuomo to call for an investigation of NCCC's handling of those assaults, and now the governor is expanding that investigation to include all college campuses in the state. The governor today said he will accept, quote, nothing less than full compliance with that law, and he wants college administrators to know that he is watching. And we spoke with the governor's top lawyer today, and he said our reporting was a key factor in the launching of this probe.
Scandal first uncovered by the 7 Eyewitness News I-Team has left another top administrator out of a job.
And Fran Giles, the director of security at NCCC, has resigned.
Tonight, Niagara County Community College says it's going to add new services to help sexual assault victims.
The decision comes just months after a 7 Eyewitness News investigation into the handling of sex assaults on campus led to the ouster of the college president and security chief.
Well, today we have a promise by the school to better handle this issue with help from the sheriff and the YWCA. The agreement signed last night means Mary Brennan Taylor of the YWCA, who is an expert victims advocate and who we actually featured here in our stories, will coordinate victims outreach and other services available to students and alums on campus. There'll be a 24-hour hotline for victims, and students will be assisted when they want to contact police about a rape. Now, one of the victims in our story said she had to actually threaten the former college security director to call the sheriff's office after she was assaulted last year. Many people think this is an encouraging step here after months and a positive sign that the college is open to change. But others say, wait a minute here, there was no shortage of policies in the past that were ignored. And it will ultimately be up to the people in those positions of power to do the right thing next time around. For the I-Team, Charlie Specht, 7 Eyewitness News.